Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, HP Maharaja, and we back at it again. Jai ho to everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, October 22nd, 2017. And hey, it's UC Irvine. Nice, nice. Always a good time to be driving. Let me just get you the view here. Amazing marshlands, or whatever you call them, and then buildings in the back. Cool stuff. But nonetheless, it's Sunday, so time to relax. Actually, I don't relax much, but it's time to get to work, actually. I just actually drove back from work. I had a meeting with one of my bosses. Yes, got multiple bosses. No worries though. It was good. We talked about the product, some of the teams. So let me actually talk about this topic today. So the topic today, what I'm going to talk about is dealing with. And actually, I have a friend here that I went to UC Irvine with. We actually took photos right there. I remember when we went to get our cap and gown because we graduated together. Went with him yesterday to a basketball game. We actually had a great time. So by the way, that video was also uploaded, or should be uploaded, yesterday. Or it was uploaded just the previous vlog. Just go to it. Maybe there's a link somewhere around here. But we went to a Clippers versus Suns game. It was like a 42-point blowout game. Not so fun, but hey, we had all the friends out there. Hey, the tickets were like $10 each. What do you got to lose, man? And it was our first, basically basketball NBA official season game. So it's always a good time. So I went with this friend that I haven't met since graduation, right? And he was telling me about all these things. So let me just go back and just state what the topic for today is: how to deal with negative events and how to approach them with a positive mindset, because that's very important. So anyway, so my friend, and right now I'm working with a current client with an agency that's not doing their work. It's very negative. We tell them to get something done in a week, and they get it done in a month, really. And when they do provide that in a month, it's all like a mess. It's not even working, or the product is, half-heartedly finished. Not good stuff. But nonetheless, there's always going to be these types of people that are going to have negative experiences. You're going to be around negativity. You're going to be around people who just don't do their work. People who think that living is just free, and other people in the world don't matter, which is a very bad perspective to have, especially because you encourage, if you're that kind of person who's always encouraging negativity, and you're encouraging others to not do their work, then you're going to encourage an entire environment, an ecosystem, to be very negative. That's all that's going to lead to is more sorrow and misery. If you don't believe me now, you will, because you will go through these experiences where a ton of negativity will shine down or darken down the positivity, if there is any at all. So that's something that's very crucial, is that you need to stay away from these environments. How do you deal with it though? You can be, it only takes one sun to illuminate the entire planet, right? Forget the entire planet, the entire universe here. There's only one sun in this universe, but it only takes one. So despite whatever I said, you can be that one sun that illuminates the entire planet, right? The entire ecosystem, everybody. You can be the shining light for everybody. And that's the way you have to think. And that's the way, like, I walk around and I think positive, and as well as anybody who's going through a negative experience, I want to make sure that they're thinking the positives in those negatives, so that they don't get bogged down even more whenever some other negative event comes. You have to learn to take on these negative events and challenge them with positivity. Now, it might seem like an abstract concept. Let me give you an example. Going to the gym. It's a very common example. Everybody in the first month in January, everybody's going to the gym, and then you don't even see anybody in the gym for the next 11 months until they start making their New Year's resolutions again. It's not about persistence. I'm not talking about persistence here. It's about the positivity that carries forward, right? So you might go with a couple peers, right? And I had this, like, we were planning for a marathon, and I was, you know, training with an individual. Unfortunately, an individual got caught up with life circumstances, and it sort of bogged me down. So I'm a culprit of it as well. So what happened in this situation is we were training for 2 months to run the marathon on the treadmill daily for 2 months, and then, you know, he sort of backed out, didn't want to train or do anything of that sort. Then what happened was, because of that negativity, I didn't even, you know, at that point it was a few years back, I didn't have the positive mindset to just continue it no matter what other people thought, felt, or cared about. And that's what sort of approach you need to have, is like, if you want to do something, you can start off doing it with some people, but they might not be the people that you're going to finish something with. And that's a very crucial thing to understand, because if you're going to go somewhere, you want to finish it, you go finish it, because nobody else is going to come and come to the finish line with you to hold your hand and help you cross that finish line. You got to think in the mindset of taking people to the line, taking people to the finish line and helping them cross over. Always make sure you're the leader in the pack, not the follower. Like, okay, yes, you have to follow me because, you know, I want subscribers and stuff, which I'm helping you guys learn about crap. But at the same time, so it's that dual thing that I always talk about. You got to be humble, but you also got to be confident. You got to be a follower, but you also got to be a leader, right? You have to do both of these things simultaneously, right? You have to be humble. Like, that's fine. Like, you got to be humble in these situations where you have to take the under-leveraged role in certain situations. Then if you move forward and you're trying to take, you know, a higher situation, when you have to show some confidence, then you show that confidence. So it's very important to understand when you need to apply which tactic, and yes, you have to apply both tactics in your life in order to help bring that balance. A scale only balances if you have weights on both sides or no weights at all. But if you have no weights at all, that means you're not playing the game right. You got to put weights on that scale, on the right side and the left side, so you can balance things out. Anyways, the right side would be to always, you know, play that part of being confident, but the left side will also play that part about being humble. I don't want to get too carried away, but I do want to say that it's important for anybody, you, me, everybody actually, to make sure that we're leading in the times that we're trying to lead our lives to a better ending, and then we're also following people that are bringing our inspiration, courage, whatever that happens to be. Make sure you balance those out. So going back to the point, you need to, even in these moments of negativity, you have to think positive. That's the ultimate point. And like, I'm just saying that on an overview level, but whatever your situation is, you can sit down and analyze it however you want, in terms of like, yeah, okay, this is something that, like, this is a very negative event that's happening in my life. Like, my job is not going well. I'm just doing something that I don't love. That's something you have to assess. And now I'm not saying quit your job, because that's completely ridiculous, because you can't get to where you're trying to go immediately. It takes a long-term investment, and it also takes for you to write those things down. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years? You might not get there, but you'll get somewhere closer to it. And that's very important. Like, make sure you're working in whatever environment, negative or positive, but you're working towards something that you have a plan for. You're not going to get anywhere if you have no destination, right? So that's very important. That's probably a topic for another video. But anyways, going back, be positive even in the negatives, because that way you'll go further than anybody around you, and people will take inspiration from you being that positive about things. Now, there's being positive, and back to that scale example, there's something called being positive, and then there's something called being over ambitious, right? Like, you can say, oh yeah, I'm gonna own, you know, half the planet by the end of my, you know, and by the end of 5 years or something. That's over ambitious. I mean, for anybody, you can't own half the planet. That's not gonna happen. I mean, if you believe it, hey man, all hats off to you. And if you have the work ethic for it, you will do it. But you know what kind of work ethic that requires? First of all, you gotta have the karma to do it. Second of all, you gotta have no sleep really to own half the world. But in either case, it's very important that you analyze this stuff and you make sure that you're being ambitious and positive about things wherever they are, whatever circumstance you're put in, but at the same time you're being not too over ambitious about achieving things that realistically don't align with your work ethic. That's very important. So there you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching this video. You can follow and watch so many more videos that I posted earlier. Thank you so much for watching. HP Maharaja signing out. Peace and love, everybody. Jai Ho!